Good morning, this is Chantel from Creations with Heart, and the little squeaker or whiner you'll probably hear in the background is Duchess Desiree. I've taken her toy and she's not happy, so she's trying to get it, so you'll hear her whine off and on. Today we're going to play around with mica and Brushos. To me, that is the best two color elements to have in your crafting treasure chest, because you can do so much with nice pigment mica and then the addition of those deeply rich dyed Brusho pigment colors. And when you put the two of those together, I have found out, with the exception of the self-leveling drops, I can just about make anything I want. I might have to add a little glitter, but the majority of the time I don't even have to add that, because so many companies have things like Glimmer paste with the glitter in it. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but there's glitter already in here. So if you get the white or the clear in most of your favorite mediums, you can then add the pigment mica and the Brushos and come up with some really gorgeous colors. And you can match anything you want and get the degree of color that you want, color saturation. I did a few a couple of hours ago because I wanted them to be good and dry so that you can see how they look afterwards. We'll start here. This is the Nuvo Glimmer paste right here. And see that iridescent shine? Part of that is the glitter in this Nuvo Glimmer. Part of that is Brusho, the color Prussian Blue, and then a mica pigment. Specifically, I like the ones from Color Art Primary Elements, and this one I used Arabian Sea. And all of these are using those two colors. They happen to have a package deal with them where you get a Vivid Enamel Tintable paint base, 8 ounces. Vivid Polypore Acrylic Polymer Blend, 8 ounces. And it's clear tintable paint base. And you get 12 colors. And with that particular kit, you also get a free 13th color. And that 13th color is called Angel Wings. Doesn't look like much in the jar, but it's a lot. It really does quite a bit. And then you get some paddles. And I can't quite remember the price. I will post a link to it. And there was a coupon code that I used. And all of that came together. Now at the same time, I decided to get another of their colors, and I specifically talked with the owner on the phone because I didn't want to duplicate any colors. And I got her second line called Bling It, which is very similar. And you get 12 colors there. And in that one you also get the paddles. And they're nice sized jars. They are, I will look that up, I believe it's an ounce in each one. And the colors are really stunning. And we're going to open up a couple of them. Nancy Stamps, which is where I got this idea from, does a video where she actually swatches every last one of the primary elements colors. And she uses their paint to show you how iridescent they are. So I will link that up in the video for you to go and see her video. I'm using some of the same things, and so this is their Vivid Enamel paint base. And it is clear, but in it has the mica paint and the Brusho. This is Podge Fabric, and I don't know if you can see that iridescent shine, that metallic sheen in there. This is with Glossy Accents, adding the same two things. This is just the mica, I didn't put much in there. And this is the mica and the Brusho. All I did was I did this one first, and then I put a shake of Brusho. I mean, literally just a, and it turned it that color. So you're able to deepen the color by adding Brusho. This is rice paper, printable rice paper. I want to see what it did on that. So this is the Vivid using just the mica. And this is mica and Brusho. This is Podge Fabric with both colors in there. And I wanted to do it on black because I'm specifically going to be doing some Christmas gifts on black aprons. So I wanted to see how the Mod Podge specifically turned out. So this is the Mod Podge fabric on black. The Nuvo Glimmer paste and they're Vivid. And it's got quite a lot of shine. It's very bright. Oh, and down here are some butterflies, some fabric butterflies from the Prima line. Crystal carries them in the shop, number 16-343. And I went ahead and did the first color. And I put, this is the fabric Mod Podge on the edge. And then we're going to do angel wings on the inside one. But I want the first color to go ahead and dry. I did it about 30 minutes ago. Now some of the other things that we're going to hopefully apply color to are some die cut butterflies to see how they turn out, some flowers, some chipboard pieces, and then here's some cardstock Graphic 45 Flutter. So I'm going to attempt to put some angel wings on the butterfly wings and see how that goes. Now, one thing you have to remember is if you don't want the mica to rub off after your medium dries, if you are using something like Mod Podge or their Vivid Enamel, Nuvo, Glossy Accents, you won't have to do anything. You won't have to add anything to it. They have enough of a fixative in those agents to hold the mica on. But if you are going to do some of those distress sprays, mica distress sprays that are so popular right now, you will have to add gum arabic. Comes in powder form and liquid. In the gum arabic, they tell you to do a ratio of 1 part gum to 4 parts pigment. And there are instructions on there. Liquid is a little easier, you don't shake as much, but either one works. And if you put this in with your mica into the water or your liquid that doesn't have a fixative, that should keep the majority of the mica on your surface. Now, it's not going to hurt if you bought the distress inks or whatever to add some of that in if you want to spray those heavier, because what I'm reading on several posts is if you spray lightly, it's not rubbing off, but if moderately, medium, or to heavy or several layers, it is coming off even days later. So the way to retard some of that is you can add some into that bottle, or I personally would get a separate empty bottle, pour some in, and then put the fixative in there. Now, a tip that I picked up from Nancy Stamps is a lot of times with these mica sprays, they clog up on us. And the tip that she gave was store the bottles on their side. I don't know why, but she says if you store them on their side, they're less likely to clog up. And another tip I found was make certain that before you seal them, dry that nozzle. And then store it that way. So I'll see. This is a Nuvo Mica Mist that I absolutely love, but I can't use it. I have to keep pouring it out of the bottle because it jammed up on me, and I cannot get that thing unjammed, and I have tried 10 million ways. So I am looking for ways to unjammed. If people have suggestions on that, please put them in the comments on how to unstick mica sprays. So let's get started. Let's see what we're going to do today. Oh, originally, real quick, these colors I was matching to these papers. So I like the fact that I can go in and no matter what I get, I don't have to go find a matching whatever pigment to use. Whatever degree, more, if I put in more, it gets darker. If I put in less, it's lighter. And I can have several degrees or variations of color shades. And so you're able to match quite easily. It wasn't hard. It didn't take 10 years. It was quite easily to match the colors that I was trying to bring out. And all these I was bringing out the same color. So you can make up, if you've got a project, make up an ounce-sized pot quite easily. And then you don't have to try and buy every color of a particular medium that you like. And like I said, I haven't found a formula for self-leveling yet, and I'm really not going to try. One of the things that helps me when I'm trying to pick colors is I created a swatch book for my Brushos. And I sprayed my Brushos and then labeled them. Because Brushos, one thing about them is in each container, when you put some of the powder out, you'll see several colors on the page. And they mix together, or sometimes they don't mix. It kind of depends on what you do. And you may get 2 or 3 colors in one shade. And so it's easier to match, well, which Brusho do I want if I took and swatched them. So I used watercolor paper and created a swatch book, and that's how I decided that Prussian blue was the color that I needed. And I could have probably also used cobalt blue, but I thought the Prussian was much closer. So these are quite handy. Alright, where do we want to start? I say let's start with the one that's going to take the longest to dry. Let's do a little bit of Mod Podge. So, fabric Mod Podge, popsicle stick, and this time I'm going to do purples. So I'm going to use Brusho purple. And primary elements, I decided to go with willow blue. And then we're also going to play a little bit with angel wings. And you don't need much of this. Look at that gorgeous color. Oh, of course I'm a purple fiend. So that's how the mica looks like. Let's get one of these smaller spoons because I'm not going to put a lot in there. Do about half a scoop. Give it a good mix. Now, I did notice that with the Mod Podge, the color you put down first is going to get much darker and richer. So you have to be a little patient with it as far as what you see is not what you get with Mod Podge when you put these colors in it. So here's the purplicious with the mica. It's going to be difficult to tell till that dries. So it's always best to swatch it and see. We're going to go ahead and put some purple in, and we will work with what we get. The mica will give it the shine, and the Brusho will give it the depth. I don't know if those are the right art terms, but they're inch-high terms. See, that's what I'm talking about. You'll get several colors in with Brushos, so you have to mix well unless you like the streak look, which I actually do. So like for the butterfly wings, I think it would be great to have the streaks of colors in like that. I'm probably going to want to put more mica in there, but we're going to give that a moment to see. We have to come back around on round 2. I'll put it back in and see what we get. So let's get a pen and write Mod Podge Fabric on that one. Because I will not remember in a few minutes which one is which. Now, my favorite is the Nuvo Glimmer paste. I don't know why, but it is. But I also remembered right as I was about to film that Crystal sells a unicorn paste, and it's a chunkier. So I'm anxious to put some in here and see how that turns out. And another clear one that she has is, actually this is the Unicorn Effect paste. It's the chunky one with bigger chunks of glitter. And this one is the Crushed Ice, and it's a thinner that's closer to. Let's just open it. I thought I had opened it. Didn't look like it. Yeah, it's nearly the same. So it's probably more economical to get this one from Crystal, because I had to wait and get this on sale at Tonic. So I will swatch up some of those later and tell you how they work, be certain that they work well. So this one's open, we're going to go ahead and finish using it. Okay, so let's start with the mica. And so this is the approximate amount of glitter we're starting, or shine, we're starting off with. And we're going to ramp it up. And I always start out with a small amount because maybe you want to do degrees of color, a lighter, medium, and a darker. So you can do a lighter, paint the lighter areas, and then add another scoop to do a medium, and add another scoop, and then you can get 3 out of the same container. And that way, again, you don't have to buy 3 different colors of the same thing. Actually, this stick, normally you put this on with a spatula anyway. So this is just the mica paste. Let's put it on black. This one almost has a blue tint to it when you put the black on it. And now, I'm afraid of breathing heavy and just knocking that flat out. That's what's great about Brushos. Unless you need to scoop them out, which I probably should open this and scoop it out, you just punch a hole with a pen or a weeding tool, Cricut weeding tool, in an awl or something in the middle. And because it's so highly pigmented and concentrated, you don't need or want much. Don't think you can even see what I put in there, but I put some right there. Let's see what that does. Can't see a lot of change there. Oh, I can. Can't when I look at the camera though. Let's see how that swatches out. Well, that's even prettier to me. Well, it's not that deepness of color change. So I want to hit that again. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's same one, 3 different versions of purple. See the difference that just a shake or two of Brusho does. Brusho is so easy to use on just about any and everything because it is a watercolor. You can watercolor with it. Put it in a little paint pot and add water and paint very easily. We do a lot of our use those watercolor pens. Just use that. So that is a favorite of mine right there. So before we get too far swatching, I am going to put some of this on the butterfly so it can go ahead and start drying. Let's see what we get by the time we're done with the film. I'll see what that does. You're not going to see as much of the iridescent on the camera. I'm curious as to what it's going to do to foil. Let's just do that too. See if it'll actually dry. So, see how that turned out. So, let's write what that is. That is the Nuvo.